Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Happy July! At 12:57 p.m., I was up last night, so we're recording this real late. Happy July, 12:57 p.m., the first day of July in Robotics Notes Elite like Animal Crossing. We're gonna load the save data. This small propeller plane is bound for Tanegashima. I let out a small sigh from my seat. Akio is next to me looking down at her phone droid monitor with a disappointed expression on her face. Gotta turn it off before we take off. I know, hee-ho. She's been like this since last night. She's probably reading articles about yesterday's match. Not that I can blame her. Yesterday, the Robo 1 Grand Finals ended in the most abrupt way possible. After suffering from slow-mo, I instinctively used Prez's special attack, Tanegashima XL Impact. It successfully knocked Mr. Pleiades M45 out of the ring, but the Prez went flying too. This counted as a double ring out, and since we already had 2 downs, this is our third and last game over. We self-destructed. What a lame way to end things. I grind my teeth. Damn it! I suppress the urge to punch a wall, all while maintaining my composure on the outside. Didn't I tell her from the get-go? Install brakes! Fate of the Robot Club doesn't mean jack to me. I'm still irked over the fact I lost. How could I let the championship slip through my fingers in such a dumb way? How embarrassing. Everything about this trip was chaotic from the get-go. If we were more prepared, I know I could have won. Which is precisely why this stings so much. If nothing else, we did get some prize money for second place. A whopping 1 million yen. But even that doesn't put a smile on Akiho's face. She's already realized that no amount of cash is going to change her situation. Akiho's contagious sigh prompts me to sigh as well. With little else to do, I boredly glance around the small plane. There aren't many passengers on this early Monday morning flight. I count 4 people other than me, Akiho, and Michi. It's sudden that a girl about the same age as us enters the cabin. She makes her way through the aisle and she looks at her ticket, confirming her assigned seat. She glances up and our eyes meet. Her face is so small, like a model. Her outfit is flashy as hell too. But her eyes are kinda scary. The girl appears to be restlessly looking around. I can't tell if she's refined or just out of her mind. She ends up sitting a seat 2 rows in front of me. As far as I can tell, she's alone. As soon as she's seated, she pulls her phone droid out and starts Kill Ballad, only to be stopped by a cabin attendant. Just like that, my affinity for this mysterious girl skyrockets. I definitely didn't think she's a KB player. But if she's from Tokyo, it shouldn't be that surprising. Tokyo girls are all about the latest trends, apparently. I can feel the mood lighten a touch. The propellers outside my window start to spin. The plane begins to slowly move across the runway. Once the cabin attendant goes over the emergency instructions, a voice comes in over the speakers above. The 8:40 a.m. flight to Tanegashima JAC 3761 is ready for departure. Prepare for liftoff. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll be arriving at Tanegashima Airport at 9:20 a.m. The current weather is sunny, 29 degrees Celsius. Your captain this morning is Yashio, and your cabin attendant is Nishi. Please enjoy your short flight. Oh, and Kaito, Aki-chan, great job out there. Ah, it's Uncle Shigemi. My dad, Shigemi Yashio, happens to be a pilot for flights between Tanegashima and Kagoshima. Really wish you wouldn't talk about personal stuff in front of the other passengers. Embarrassed, I turn my phone. I turn off my phone droid and sink into my seat, pretending to fall asleep. We have arrived at Tanegashima Airport on schedule. Thank you for flying with GAC, Japan Air Connect. JAC, not G. Once the plane comes to a halt, the passengers rise up from their seats and head toward the exit door. Michi, wake up! Michi slept through the entire ride, even the landing. G-forces ain't got nothing on him, I guess. Akio taps him on the cheek, but he doesn't move a muscle. Just plug his nose and cover his mouth. Ew, you do it, Kai. Here goes nothing. Just as I execute our plan. Michi flails wildly as he wakes up after nearly suffocating. Can you please take your job seriously? Oh, we're here. Alright, you kids heading straight to school. Heads up, this is gonna count as tardy. I'm really not in a school kind of mood. Because you don't want to see the vice principal? Yup. I can totally see the VP immediately disbanding the club the second she sees Akiho. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow. Is it just me, or is it kind of loud outside? What? Outside? 3 of us are the only ones left on the plane. I peek outside and see a ton of people standing on the aircraft apron. I don't think I've ever seen as many people at the airport. There's gotta be over 100 folks out there. I wonder what's going on. That's when I see lights flashing on and off. Camera flashes? I guess they're here to interview the runners-up for this year's Robo 1. Ha, I kid. Everyone knows second place don't mean jack. Kai. I wanted to stand at the very top of the summit. I wanted to stand shoulder to shoulder with Misane. Whether that be in KB or Robo 1. As a gamer, if I'm entering a competition, of course I'd want to come out number 1. But the reason we failed this time is entirely because of my lack of skill. You've done more than enough, Kai. Thanks for sticking with me all this time. Akio places her hand on my shoulder and offers some words of encouragement. Well, kinda sucks that I'll be losing my favorite after-school chill spot. The Robot Club doesn't exist so you can chill out, Kai. We finally make our way out of the plane. We've already been sitting around for way too long. The stewardess is looking out the window, dumbfounded. We pass by her and disembark. It's then that we come face to face with a giant crowd of people. There I spot the girl from earlier, except she's surrounded by a sea of people and cameras. Maybe she really is a celebrity or something. Is it true that you're the creator of Kill Ballad Online? Why have you been keeping your identity a secret all this time? How old are you? Is it true that you're relocating to Tanegashima? If so, why? What are your 3 sizes? Are you really the Frau? I passively hear the reporter's questions and can't believe my ears. Frau? You mean her? I assumed Frau was some dude in his 30s. But you're telling me that this girl, the one who looks about my age, is the one who made KB? The very same one who shared the KB source code with me? Frau? No. Suddenly, the quiet girl gently mumbles. She ignores the journalists surrounding her and zooms straight in on me. Please call me by my full name. Huh? Such a noob. SMH. My name is Frau Kojiro. As she says this, Frau Kojiro bends her lips upward. Duh. And then she laughs. Then it is settled. As agreed, the Robot Club will be disbanded, effective immediately. Pack your things before the day is done. The vice principal acts swiftly and without mercy. Already aware of yesterday's Robo 1 results, she charged into the clubroom with Michi after school. Take care of the storage space at the old airport too. Personal belongings go home. Anything left will be tossed. I consider bribing the VP with the Robo 1 money, but that'd probably just work against us, so I stay quiet. Imagine if we actually tried to give her 1,000,000 yen to let our club off the hook. She'd flip her lid. Students trying to bribe me? How dare you? Granted, any VP would probably react that way. But what about the 1,000,000 yen in prize money? She actually said it. With that, we what? Well, you know. Use your words. She is terrifying. Her eyes are completely fixed on Akiho. That's why I said this was a bad idea. It's nothing. Even Akiho is able to read the room on this one. Very well. By the way, anything made using school funds must stay. That includes the giant robot and the small one as well. But I rebuilt Tamagotchi Machine 3 with my New Year's money. I borrowed ahead of time. Is that so? My apologies. You may do as you wish with the small robot. Akio bites her lips and then hangs her head low. She's clearly trying her best to suppress her emotions. Her tightened fists are just barely trembling. This was the deal we made. Regardless of how unreasonable the VP's conditions are, Akio agreed to him. It agreed to them. It is what it is. The robot club has been disbanded. The giant robot is going to be scrapped. It's all over and done with. And the attempt at bribery went as expected, so I've got nothing to say. It's time to be honest with ourselves and back down. I get being hurt, but for me, I'm hurt over the fact that I couldn't win, not because the club is gone. As far as I'm concerned, that's someone else's problem. Deep inside, I honestly don't care what happens. I just want it to hurry up and be done with. It's then that I notice Subaru Hidaka watching us from afar. For some reason, he's wearing an irritated expression on his face. Now that I think about it, how did he even get back from Tokyo? Senomiya-san, how long do you intend to stand there? Didn't I tell you to hurry up and pack your things? Akiho, her shoulders still slumped, turns away from the vice principal and heads into the club room. The room is filled with Akiho's stuff from home, things left by old members and junky parts for the big robot. Even I can tell that Akiho's trying not to cry. But she can't endure things any longer, and tears begin to flow from the corner of her eyes. Just asking, but before I can stop myself, I'm suddenly talking to the Robot Club president. Huh? If you could cheat to continue or just accept the game over, which would you choose, Aki-chan? Akio sets her tearful gaze upon me like she's praying for me to create a miracle. I'd cheat and continue. Well, color me surprised. She didn't hesitate in the least. This is my dream. It's the one thing I don't ever want to give up on. We've had to give up so many things due to our attacks. We've convinced ourselves that we didn't have a choice. When it came to the Robot Club, Akito doesn't know how to give up. She's way more attached to it than I ever thought. Got it. I reassuringly pat Akio on the shoulder and walk over to where Subaru Hidaka is standing. Seeing Akio like this hit me pretty hard. Plus, it's my duty to support my childhood friend when she refuses to throw in the towel. Man, I'm contradicting myself, aren't I? Before Robo 1, I was doing everything in my power to get her to give up. What the hell am I thinking? Looks like the Robot Club has been disbanded. For the record, it makes sense. You guys were an embarrassment. I immediately grin and wrap my arm around Hidaka-kun's shoulders. What is it? Hey, Hidaka-kun, do you have that on you right now? That? You know what I'm talking about. That mask looks just like the one Red Comet wore. Well, do you, Mr. Pleiades? Hidaka-kun's expression immediately changes. What are you talking about? He's so shook that he's fumbling his words. His eyes are darting back and forth too. Do you really think I wouldn't notice? Granted, Akio and Michi somehow didn't. Any normal human being would have figured it out. Maybe it's like kayfabe in pro wrestling or something. Except I'm awful at reading the room for stuff like this. When did you get back today? You couldn't have come home yesterday. And you weren't on the first flight this morning, so did you take the noon flight? What about by boat? Either way, you must have come straight to school without dropping by home first. Which means you should still have that mask on you. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. The continued existence of the Robot Club and one girl's dream are riding on this. And there it is, sticking out of your pocket. What? In the words of the famous fighter, predictable. I tricked him into checking his pants pocket with his hand. He then immediately has an annoyed look on his face once he realizes he's been fooled. Now. Looks like someone got themselves bamboozled! I quickly reach into Hidaka-kun's pocket and forcibly take out the mask. Yep, this is it. No doubt about it. Found it. How dare you trick me, you third-rate Robot Club flunky? What are you gonna do with that? I can see the hatred in his glare, but I shrug it off as I look at the VP who's watching Akio clear out the club room. What am I gonna do? This, of course. I then immediately jam the mask onto Hidaka-kun's face. Stop it! Wow, I can't believe the Robo 1 champ, Mr. Pleiades, is here of all places. I put on an act and shout into the air, dragging Hidaka-kun toward the club room. Akio, Michi, and the VP all stare wide-eyed at us in surprise. Wait, Mr. Pleiades, huh? What the heck's going on? I recall seeing him on TV. That is the champion. But why? He's the real one? But of course. Come on, Pleiades, do your usual intro. How does it go again? Alcyon, Vaporeon, or something? Alcyon, Electra, Maya, Taigeta. So that word, Asterope, Merope. By the blessing of the 7 goddesses, I descend to Earth from 400 light years yonder. I am Mr. Pleiades! Ah. Yeah, I couldn't help myself! Despite his whining, he sure put on an enthusiastic performance. There you have it, the real Mr. Pleiades. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, this guy is actually a student here and a member of the Robot Club. What? Huh? Excuse me? Which means yesterday Robo 1's grand finals were a battle between fellow Robot Club members. In other words, no matter who came out on top, the Robot Club won. And if I recall correctly, in order to save the club, we had to win Robo 1, correct? I guess we met your conditions. That means there's no longer any need to disband the club. Ain't that right? You must be joking. The vice principal has started to go crazy. What a terrifying lady. What proof do you have that Mr. Whatever is a student of our school? Should I show you his true identity? Hidaka-kun struggles to escape my grasp, but I pull the mask right off his face. Hidaka-kun. Oh my god, it's Hidaka. What is the meaning of this? Don't believe his lies. I'm not in... I quickly put my hand over his mouth. So there you have it, Miss Vice Principal. You can go now. What? The conditions were met, so the club's saved. Plus we get a budget. Surely a teacher wouldn't lie to their students. This is positively absurd. The VP's face turns bright red despite the layer of white makeup she has on. Fukada-sensei, you told me the Robot Club only had 2 members. Huh? Well, pro tip. Shut up, Michi. Looks like we have 3. Vice Principal is seething now. Blue veins visible on her forehead. I'm kind of worried she might burst a blood vessel. I'm not feeling well. Pardon me. But instead of exploding any further, she turns her back to us. This was the moment we truly became victorious. The Vice Principal gave up on destroying the Robot Club in that very moment. And yet Akio couldn't resist calling out to her. The Robot Club gets to exist? Do as you wish, but know that I'll never approve your budget, not after the trickery you used. She storms off. Not getting any funding wasn't part of the deal. Despite being dissatisfied with that one bit. The Robot Club lives on. We get to keep going. Seeing Akio so deeply moved and unable to deal with her own shock is enough to make me not care. I might not have lived up to the expectations at Robo 1, but at least I made myself useful now. Michi, you playing along was a real lifesaver, and surprising too. Listen up, Yashio. Pro tip, when your mind goes blank, just smile and go with the flow. He really is the worst. What's the meaning of this? I never said I was joining the... Then I guess it's fine to go around the school and tell everyone that you're Mr. Pleiades. Considering he went so far to hide his identity and competing at Robo 1, he must be hiding something shady. Damn you, you fiend! Like I anticipated, Hidaka-kun throws a tantrum and stomps his feet a bit, but doesn't argue the point. It's then that Akiho walks over to him. What is it? Hidaka-kun puts up his guard, but Akio simply takes his hand in hers and shakes it. Hidaka-kun seems puzzled. Yesterday's match was awesome! You were amazing, Pleiades! No, Hidaka-kun. You have my respect! Psst. It's not like I'm happy in the slightest to have your respect or anything, Tsunomiya-senpai. Hidaka-kun, your voice is shaking. In fact, just watching you guys was annoying. Number 3 is 9 years old, barely tuned, and you handled it crudely. However, I appreciate the idea to implement the KB control scheme into a hobby robot. I guess, sort of, maybe, yeah. Oh, he's actually complimenting us. Though he's still acting like a cocky jerk. Thanks. And congrats on the championship. Hidaka-kun continues to face the other way. Oh, so how do you wear... Oh, bleh. Oh, so seeing how you wear a mask, does that mean you've also thrown away your past? You know, like him? For some reason, Akio's eyes are sparkling. I've thrown away nothing. Let go of me already. Hold on. Before that, I put my arm around Hidaka-kun's shoulders again. Aki-chan, don't let go of his hand yet. What is it this time? Michi, could you grab us a club registration form? Oh, sure. Wait just a minute. Michi starts fiddling with his phone droid. These days, even club registration forms are digital. What a convenient world we live in. Hidaka-kun quickly realizes what kind of situation he's in and tries to escape. Akio and I both keep him in place as Michi puts his arm around his shoulder too, giving his cheeky kid no way out. Hey, let me go! I wasn't kidding, friendo. You're gonna be joining our little robot club, Hidaka-kun. Otherwise it'd be a real problem if the VP started poking around. I get it now. Now that it's come to this. You're stuck with the robot club, Hidaka-kun. I refuse to let someone so talented escape me that easily. This is bullying. You're bullying an underclassman. Not quite upperclassmen. Bullying their juniors is a tradition that goes back over half a century. Think about sports. Granted, the robot club isn't a sports team. That's so anachronistic. Come on. You weren't in a club anyways. This is a great opportunity. Clubs are all about sweat, tears, and youth. I'm looking forward to working together, Hidaka-kun. Wait, I'll call you Subaru from now on. Then I'll call you Subaru-kun now that we're pals. This is nonsense. I'll bring this up with the PTA. Good grief, he just doesn't know when to quit. Guess I have no choice. By the blessings of the 7 goddesses, I descend to Earth from 400 light years. I'm sorry, I'll join the Robot Club, don't mimic me! Subaru Hidaka finally surrenders. The young man dejectedly hangs his head and stops resisting. By the way, did you come up with that spell incantation thing yourself? The tournament director was making me say it. He said it'd make my character stand out more. Dang, you have my condolences. But wow, Kai, I can't believe you noticed Mr. Pleiades was Subaru. I had no clue. You're messing with me, right? I'm being super dupe serious. And there we have it. Proof that you and Michi are literally blind. Hey, who are you calling blind? How about showing your teacher some respect? Alright, Hidaka, send it in. Michi puts his phone droid in front of Subaru. The club registration form is on screen, ready for submission. With the strength to resist gone from his soul, Subaru obediently signs his name. The way he signs his name resembles a criminal signing a statement. I did the crime. He's so defeated. The form is immediately uploaded online and registered into the school's database. And with that, Subaru is now a certified member of the Robot Club. Satisfied, we release our poor underclassmen from our grip. Ugh. I may be in the club now, but I won't be cooperating any further. Such nonsense is unacceptable. I figured, considering how much he trash-talked us before forcing him to join our club was never gonna totally tame him. Especially considering how unreliable a President Akiho is. In that case, Subaru should just take over the club himself. I really don't care where it goes from here. These two crazy robo-lovers can run off and fulfill whatever weird dreams they have. Attention, everyone! While it sucks that we have no funding, the Robot Club lives on. That means we continue building our giant robot of justice, Gunbuild 1. We have Kai and Subaru to thank for that. What about me? You didn't do anything, Michi. Anyways, back to the topic. Now that we've avoided death, it's time for me to put my long-dormant plan into action. Say what? I have a bad feeling about this. Our goal is to complete Gunbuild 1, aka Gun Barrel Prototype Model 1, by February next year. But I'm thinking if we want to make a robot that'll win the Expo's Grand Prix, we're gonna need more than me and Kai. Even with Subaru, that's only 3 people. So I'm thinking of borrowing the help of a real pro. Huh? Isn't that cheating? I'm surprised by how much you've thought this through, though. Or thought this through. Thought you were more of a simpleton. Are you calling me dumb? Am I wrong? Yes, you are. Anyways, I'm just saying we can get advice, borrow facilities, and maybe get some help here and there. That would sure be an awfully convenient pro. They really go that far for a bunch of high schoolers? Anyway, who's this pro she's talking about? She means Doc. Yeah, sure, he's helped us a bunch up until now. We're going in tomorrow after school. Kai, Subaru, be ready. What? Me too? Don't give me that. You're a member of the Robot Club too. Besides, where are we even going? Hehe, isn't it obvious? Without hesitation, Akio points to the southern sky steeped in the color of the sunset. Something on the southern side of the island. The JAXA Tanegashima Space Center. Huh? Ladies and gentlemen, Do 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 do. Drop the beat. Welcome. We are a month in. Welcome to Robotics Notes Elite. Gamers, we are gaming. I'm just watching it now. I'm just having a good time. Yeah! Banger. Phase 2, baby. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a flashback that leads into July 2nd, I think. But it technically is not July 2nd yet. I believe this is a dream Kaito is having the night of July 1st. So let's read it. When was the last time Misane and Akio went to watch a rocket launch together? That's right. It was 9 years ago for H-2A rocket Flight 17 launch. I remember the day being nice and warm, an early morning in May. Misane was readying for the next day when she'd be entering Robo 1 as a part of the Robot Research Association. After watching the launch early in the morning, she was gonna hop on a boat to Kagoshima, then fly to Tokyo from there. Despite being normally deserted, Uchigaoka Park was packed with people. Whenever there was a launch, people from all over would come to the island to watch. Most of the tourists were adults, but once the rocket launched, everyone's eyes sparkled like children. Of course, the locals joined in as well. It had become a big event that took place twice a year. No matter how many times you saw it, it never got old. Although, to be fair, we wouldn't get as excited as the people who visited the island to watch. I rubbed my tired eyes and played fighting games with Misane, who had just entered high school. Oh, I lost again. That's 12 wins in a row for me. Hee-ho. You still have a long ways to go, Kai. You're so mean, Misane. Go easy on me. But you'd get mad if I held back, wouldn't you? Sure, but... Look, you're gonna need another 10 years if you want to beat me. One more round. Wait, the launch is in 60 seconds. Sightseers around us started to get excited. The energy was palpable. But there was still no movement on the launch pad in the distance. Hey Aki, wake up! The rocket's about to launch! Huh? I'm sleepy. Akio was still half asleep. I put my game away and waited while holding Misane's hand. At last, we heard a countdown voice come from the speakers. 5, 4, 3, 2. A cloud of white smoke rose from the launch pad. It was quickly followed by a bright light. The rocket then looked like a faraway speck started spewing smoke up into the sky. There were cheers coming from people around us. Sound of applause. Then finally a very low frequency hit us, one that felt like it was vibrating in our stomachs. The man-made lump of metal cut through the clouds and rose into the heavens. I remember how gallant it always looked, almost in a brave kind of tragic way, stirring all those who watched. But at that time I had no knowledge of the reason or poetic expression. I just intently watched the tail of the rockets forgetting to breathe. Awesome! So awesome! All I could do was express my instinctive feelings as best as I could. Next to me, Misane looked up at the sky like me and shouted, "Go, hot dog, go!" You must really want to eat hot dogs, Misane. You said the same thing last time, too. It's a line from an old film. After looking at me and smiling, Misane returned her gaze to the distant sky. Kai, make sure you grow into a man with the right stuff. As an elementary schooler at the time, I had no idea what she meant by those words. I only learned about the right stuff after Misane graduated high school and left the island. But by then I'd stopped going to rocket launches. It is now 7-2. But there was no autosave here. Weird. I'm gonna make a manual save. There we go. That is another episode of Robotics Don't Delete Like Animal Crossing. I will see you tomorrow. Come on, Ochio!